Honestly, must we always resort to violence? I suffer no fools. You are significantly outmatched. You wish to test our might? Everyone, follow me! We must be vigilant. Do not fall behind. Follow my example. Have you made your peace? I may soon tire of these trifling engagements. Onward we go. Overconfidence precedes carelessness. Remember that. I still have much to learn. I could get used to this feeling. You have yet to see what I am capable of. What is this power welling up from within me? I may be even more capable than you realize. Is this the truth I have been seeking? Out of my sight, weaklings! Child's play. No quarter! Do not relent! Abandon hope! Why such hostility? One step ahead. You are no match. Your leader has fallen. Give up! This battle is as good as over. I have you now. Disappear! The enemy's strength is waning. Seize the advantage. It will all be over soon. We've caught them unawares. Prey on their confusion. With me! Thought you could escape me? Where are you looking? Buried alive. Rest in peace. Rise to the occasion. Within my reach. You need to try harder. Step aside. Coming through. Too late for regrets. What is yours is mine. Caught you off guard. Enough games. I will end your suffering. Let my spirit empower you. What is mine is yours. Acid rain, melt away. Deep freeze, glacial cold. Crush them. Stone rain, I shall bury you. Come. This is the end! Better safe than sorry. Mind your health. Turn the tides. Show them your true strength. Wayward fools. Beg. A gift for you. Here you are. No! Raymond. Princess! Get up! Please, get up! Get a hold of yourself! You are not done yet. Are you, boy? How could this be? I will save you. Just hold on. How dare you? Midas! You will pay! You cannot give up. No, not yet. Midas, you must escape. This is no time to be resting. This is not good. This cannot be. To her aid, quickly. The fault is my own. You may leave the rest to me. I will fight. A wise choice. Allow me to take your place. It seems my time has come. Good. I tire of waiting. Go, Duma. Attack in unison. The end is nigh. They broke through? We must endure. We are in danger. The enemy draws near. Is everyone prepared? Well then, how shall we proceed? Follow me if you crave victory. Would you like me to initiate? Fret not. Your allies are with you. We attack together. Are you ready? Oh? Good eyes, boy. I'm impressed you saw them before me. I appreciate the forewarning. I see them as well, just like old times. Come, Midas. I shall assist you. Now go. If we focus, there is no enemy we cannot defeat. I am with you. Let us bring the fight to them. I will lead us to victory. Believe in yourself and victory shall follow. Prepare for battle. Understood. Reinforcements. More enemies are joining the fray. There are more of them. We should not engage in fruitless battles. Let us flee before this escalates. I have been poisoned. I feel so weak. I am burning. Help. You dirty rotten. Using illusions, are they? It is not real. Begone. Everyone, fight as you see fit. Converge on a single target. Spread out and crush them. I am of the same mind. A wise strategy. Right. It will be done. Here, allow me. Hold fast. A gift. It is not yet your time to fall. You cannot perish before reaching your goal. You must fulfill your duty. I am here to help. I am with you, Midas. Show them who they are trifling with. Stay with us. You are not alone. Seize the day. You have my thanks. This will not be forgotten. With this power, allow me to demonstrate why have luck when I have you. Let us combine our strength. I thank you. I know you will protect me, Midas. I shall not let you down. How can I not, with you here, and I in you? Thank you. Now victory shall be ours. They will pay dearly. Well, that was unpleasant. I am in your debt. I can hardly move. Must catch my breath. I am fine. Just need a moment. Marvelous. I mustn't fall behind. Superb form, boy. Such agility. Time has not slowed you down. So this is the power of the ocean of stars. Your training has paid off. You do not disappoint. Worthy of praise. Well, we might as well pick it up. What do we have here? We shouldn't let it go to waste. Let us collect it. It may prove useful. We can find a use for that. That looks worth taking with us. Indeed, this looks quite valuable. I can tell its quality just by looking at it. It seems fortune is in our favor. Pardon. Like this? Might this work? How intriguing. Forgive our intrusion. An excellent find. Well, aren't you a charming creature? Not so fast. I'm intrigued to see what comes of this. So I strike while it's still hot. yes, I happen to enjoy such detailed work. Carefully now. Such arts are foreign to me and my people, but I will do my best. Me, a scrivener? Well, this will be interesting. I've mastered the basics at the very least. Ah, hasn't that a nice ring to it? This curve could afford to be a deal more elegant. That went precisely as I hoped. Now, on to the next step. I derive a great deal of pleasure from watching the alchemic process at work. It will be a tour de force, I assure you. Leave this with me. This shall be a fine piece. And finer still with every blow of my hammer. Such level of artisanry requires my utmost concentration. Fascinating how such a congeries of components begets a single object. Just the chemical reaction I sought. Shouldn't be long now. This will be my magnum opus. My work is complete. Do you not think it a triumph? Not bad. Not bad at all. Nothing so invigorating as the attainment of new knowledge. The question now is, where to focus my efforts next? We are glad to be of assistance. That was a fine collection of wares. It was a restful night's sleep, all in all. An excellent establishment, was it not? I can taste the land's bounty in every bite. Let us make our way east. Our journey calls us westward. We are meant to travel southward. To the north it is. To the northeast next, was it? Shall we make our way southeast? Should we not make way now for the southwest? Our journey would have us travel northwest. To the east, and with haste. Come, we move west. To the south, with urgency. With me. We make for the north. The northeast awaits us. We must move southeast without a moment's waste. Make haste. We move southwest. Waste not a moment further. We must head northwest. This is not the way. Follow me. This way. Come with me. First, we must head outside. Our prey is in sight. With me. Right. Attack. My, how you have grown into quite the reliable princess. I know not the exact locations of Levitas ore deposits. We have no choice but to search thoroughly while we descend. They differ from those above ground, having survived the harsh conditions below. Yet they perish all the same. Ancient are these ruins. We will undoubtedly encounter more overgrown areas such as this. Likely a trap to deter would-be intruders. We should be wary of not only enemies, but tread carefully as well. This place is sacred. It is not meant to be easily accessible. We are being tested to see if we are worthy. We managed to cross safely. We must remain vigilant as we delve deeper. Drawing recklessly close will only see us captured. We must distance ourselves. Shall we fall back? Fix your eyes ahead. We are making no stops. It would seem there are yet enemies afoot, however. Best proceed carefully. There was a vertical transport system somewhere in the area. Surely you do not decry this distance. We stand ready to travel infinitely further. A dead end, it would seem. Does this leave us with access to yet more areas? There is no use in decrying their actions. Let us search for another way. It yet holds strong. Perhaps we require more force? Do your eyes see the same malevolent spire mine do? This way will only take more time. We should head through the jungle to the west, before making our way south. Nilbeth's entire ecosystem appears disturbed. So much so, I fear it is beyond repair. I need not be ordered to. This area would appear safe. This area appears removed from commotion. We might find rest here. We have no choice but to go by our instincts. The natural laws of the outside world do not seem to apply here. There you are. It relieves me to see you all well. What a lonely sight. It is of sole consolation that the number of victims was low for such circumstances. I am pleased you see me as such. There is nothing to gain from losing my composure here, though inside I am seething with fury. It matters not. I will see it through that he pays for his atrocities. I do not care what he may title himself. I will not allow him to defile our sacred land unpunished. I will flood their network with the anguish of my people, the Trathen's fury. By our hands, justice shall reign supreme, on behalf of all who live in Nilbeth. Osseous core. As you can see, my arm is still here, flesh and blood, I have only given him a small portion of my regenerable body. However, you mustn't be reckless, all right? You may not be fully acclimated with it yet. Oh, a burden on my hand, you say? You certainly have an interesting way of wording things, boy. Are you concerned about me? My, you are a kinder man than you look. I am fine. The surgery did not take much toll on me. Ah, I see. So you thought I took the osseous core from my arm, did you? Let's just say I think you are all better off not knowing. Midas, do you not think you are a bit too harsh with Princess Leticia? You know that she is not the one to blame for what happened all those years ago, do you? Yes, that is true. That aspect of yours is quite the asset. And also the shortcoming. Yes, child? What do you wish to consult with me? Oh, what? Quite the inquiry. In my personal opinion, no matter how mature a man becomes, he will always have the mind of a boy. Correct. Thus, understanding a boy's mindset would be an effective method in garnering a man's appeal, for people instinctively seek out those who can understand how they feel. Truly now, I am pleased to know I was of assistance. Child, please, you are much too gracious. Yes? You have come this far, you may as well continue. I am willing to answer you. However, are you quite sure you will not regret asking? Yes, that would be wise. And the same applies to whomever is eavesdropping over there. Pay it no mind. It is an elder's duty to spark the fires of passion in the young. I never thought I would live to see the day when I could once again relax in the royal capital. Yet we can spend time together now thanks to those events. Every cloud, eh? Some things must be said aloud. And why would you mind being seen with me? Apologies, Raymond. Midas proves to be a handful when in a bad mood. Could you give us some time alone? Heavens. Still the same after all these years. Oh, would you be embarrassed for others to hear it? Well then, how about we find some place a little more comfortable? Truly and ceaselessly astonishing. I thought I had already learned so much in my lifetime. But when did I last feel such anticipation, such suspense, not knowing what will happen next? Despite coming from this Coruscant universe, you too felt such unease when arriving in a new land? Hyped. Fascinating. I would have said my curiosity was aroused for the first time in ages, but such phrasing does not do justice to what I feel. Yes, to know that there are worlds in existence which are yet unfamiliar to me, I am hyped. Yes. Like a tottering child, I shall take my first steps as I learn about every new thing I see. Despite our disparity in technology, I see. Such an intriguing concept. Very well. Then I shall embrace being a child and learn as one. At present, yes. Many converge here in Nilbeth as an allied state, but each race typically lives in its own cluster. However, that does not mean we forbid other races to reside here. In fact, Midas and the other wise men sojourned in this very settlement for an extended period. Although there are differences between the races, the Trathen are very proactive in interspecies exchange. We Trathen have long been congenial with the semiomancers of Osarius, partly due to the ancient coil. The fact that I studied abroad in Osarius is also a product of that exchange. Minimal when compared with Osarius. Because of our race, geography, and history, we tend to ally ourselves with semiomantically developed nations, though perhaps that is precisely why we end up attracting attention. That would be quite difficult given the circumstances. There are many other races living in Nilbeth's capital besides the Trathen, and the capital's legislative council decides its actions. If the Trathen are the only ones affected by a malady, then the Trathen themselves must attempt to quell the situation first. Only when the situation becomes unmanageable will the capital intervene. These are the unique positives and negatives of Nilbeth's National Assembly. Conversely, if something like this were to happen to the other races, we would behave in the same manner. Though, Perhaps now is the time for us to change those customs. What are you doing, Raymond? Be strong! How uncharacteristically burdensome of you. Look there, a location where the current stills. Yes, it seems this place is most comforting to us. Duma called this quasi-integration. Don't you think that we would see these sites were we to, hypothetically, integrate with Scorpium? Do we not swim in a vast sea of knowledge? Acquired memories and knowledge are beacons, islands, if you will. I have managed to find some stable footholds on my own, but when together with you, this place appears to be the most secure. I dare say so. Do you? What do you mean? Let me hear it. Indeed, I do recall. However, I personally did not contribute much to its research and development, you know. Fascinating. It seems we are very much alike. Though you are not of this planet, you give Leticia hope. You admonish the boy. You whip Midas into shape. You encourage Nina, and you led the charge on the wedding to success. Seeing everything you do leaves me feeling comfort in that this is what a true unsung hero looks like. Be that as it may, that does not mean I resent such a full plate, to which I cannot object. Once I experience the feeling of aiding others, I cannot fight the hunger to do more. I so frequently yearn for someone who understands. However, this is a rather ill-suited place for us to talk about the future. How long it has been since I have discussed with someone such plans for the future. I find myself suddenly filled with excitement. Very well then. Let us press onward and put an end to this war at once. We both have much yet left on our plates. What's the matter? Am I that attractive? Flattery will get you nowhere with me, mister. Oh, come now, Raymond. Surely you didn't wander all the way here just to stand around looking thirsty. Join me for a drink. Wonderful. Now come, sit yourself right here beside me and drink up. Oh, yes. Drinking with you makes the nectar extra sweet. You don't have as much stamina as I thought you would. I'm just getting started, you know. Now, where do you think you're going? Shouldn't a real man finish the drink he ordered? Oh, what a bore. Your eyes tell a different story, you know. It sure would be a shame to... Don't give me that worried look. I have no interest in men with no tongue for the drink. Sorry. Hey, handsome. What was your name again? Indeed. I have been having such a dreadful time sleeping lately, and there's no particular reason for it either, which prevents me from being at my best. What do you do in times like these, Raymond? Does your world not have any special method to getting a good night's sleep? Is that it? I cannot see how that would make me fall asleep. I suppose there's no harm in trying. Very well, I will attempt your method tonight. But keeping count requires concentration. Such a task could keep me up until morning. That certainly seems like it would help, but rather than a solution to my problem, wouldn't that simply tire me out? I highly doubt that I will be in the mood to exercise, considering the discomfort I am currently in because I cannot sleep in the first place. But I will take it into consideration. I beg your pardon? And how does that fare you in terms of productivity? It sounds terrible for your health. Surely you cannot perform to the best of your abilities, no? Well, I will acknowledge it as a potential option, but that is not a respectable way to do business. You must take care and avoid such circumstances, you know. Ultimately, I believe the most important thing for a person in a position of power is to be calm. For no one wants to follow a leader whose mind is in disarray. Even when feeling unsure, simply projecting a serene ambiance will help those around you remain calm. In truth, it is not dissimilar to standing your ground. Then you should try deep breathing exercises. If you've lost your composure, the first step to regain it is to breathe deeply. Before making a big decision or taking drastic measures, remember to take a deep breath. That alone will make you feel much better. Good. Very wise of you. Yes, you could say that. Oh, insufferable am I? I certainly won't stand for that. I must ask you, Princess Leticia, objectively speaking, how does our insufferable relationship appear to you? I suggest you answer truthfully. Do you hear that, Midas? We look like sweethearts. And how is that insufferable? She merely told it as she sees it, if I were to venture a guess. Yes, I see. Good friends, you say. That does sound about right, if I do say so myself. Partners in crime. Well, now that you mention it, we did do things years ago we couldn't possibly share with such wholesome youngsters. Parent and child. My, I was not expecting that. Hardly. If I were to venture a guess, I would assume she means that you act like a whiny, spoiled child. There's nothing left to be done. What a dull existence. There must be some way to pass the time. Your timing is impeccable. I happen to have a favor I must ask. Could you tell me a good story? You did hear me. Come, tell me something stimulating. I never thought you would actually tell a joke. Yes, of course, apologies. I had heard it common for persons of great culture to know many jokes and funny tales. If the princess can make a clever joke at a moment's notice, the kingdom's future is secure. Your story did enlighten me to something rather important. Telling frightening stories is simply not your forte. Oh, what a disappointment. Shouldn't a princess be able to think of something? Now, just what could be cause to sigh like that? Oh dear, again? And who could blame you for that? The boy tried like mad to hide it. No, I do not think so. It was wholly out of his sense of loyalty to you that he tried so hard to conceal his condition. As the boy's superior, you must acknowledge his efforts. Of course, acting to prevent someone from worrying can, on occasion, lead to an equally worrisome predicament in and of itself. I do not know much of man's pride, but I can say that you need not trouble yourself with every small concern. Do you believe so? No harm done. But now you must develop an eye for seeing through false courage, because that is how people are, no matter their age. Surely that is uncalled for, no? All things considered, it was a smashing wedding. It was missing something, for sure. You will certainly wed your true life partner one day. Consider it a fine dress rehearsal instead. You are probably right. You cannot marry anyway unless you find a groom. In truth, what type of man do you see yourself marrying? This is a matter that will mold the future of Osarius. Oh, come now. I shan't tell a soul. You can speak with candor. Well, that means you are much more the following type, no? I suppose you even intend to travel across the stars. I can easily imagine it, knowing you as I do. Always by her side. Isn't there already someone like that? Is she boasting? Oh, no, never mind. I hope you find such a man. I think it may be the other side that needs to try. A logical older man. Why, that is unexpected. To think you might have that kind of preference. I cannot let myself be too careless, then. No, it is nothing. Nothing at all. I asked you to speak with candor, did I not? There is nothing else on my mind. Truly and ceaselessly astonishing. I thought I had already learned so much in my lifetime. But when did I last feel such anticipation, such suspense, not knowing what will happen next? Despite coming from this Coruscant universe, maybe they too felt unease arriving in a new land, thrilled. Fascinating. I thought my curiosity was aroused for the first time in ages, but that phrasing does not do justice to what I feel. I am thrilled to know that there are whole worlds yet unheard of in our universe. Yes, like tottering children, we shall take our first steps into a world once thought unfathomable, one with an abundance to learn. Childlike innocence, you say? Conventional wisdom will no doubt be a hindrance, then. I hope you will be near to keep me grounded. At present, yes. Many converge here in Nilbeth as an allied state, but each race typically lives in its own cluster. However, that does not mean we forbid other races to reside here. In fact, Midas and the other wise men sojourned in this very settlement for an extended period. Although there are differences between the races, the Trathen are very proactive in interspecies exchange. We Trathen have long been congenial with the semiomancers of Osirius, partly due to the ancient coil. The fact that I studied abroad in Osirius is also a product of that exchange. Minimal when compared with Osirius. Because of our race, geography, and history, we tend to ally ourselves with semiomantically developed nations, though perhaps that is precisely why we end up attracting attention. That would be quite difficult given the circumstances. There are many other races living in Nilbeth's capital besides the Trathen, and the capital's legislative council decides its actions. If the Trathen are the only ones affected by a malady, then the Trathen themselves must attempt to quell the situation first. Only when the situation becomes unmanageable will the capital intervene. These are the unique positives and negatives of Nilbeth's National Assembly. Conversely, if something like this were to happen to the other races, we would behave in the same manner. Though, perhaps now is the time for us to change those customs. Good heavens, I am just in time. Are you all right? Take a deep breath. I found a place that appears safe over there. Can you move? I walked about here earlier. This appears to be a corner of Osirius's royal palace. No, we seem to be engaged in a so-called quasi-integration. As such, I hardly think the impediment of wind and water is of any concern. Most likely, this is all an illusion, depicting your thoughts and mine. You don't recognize it at all? I remembered it instantly. But you were so small then, and the walls now are in good repair. Understandable, though. We were thrown into this so quickly. It was here, I believe. Little you, crying helplessly, clutching that boy who was covered in blood. Something seems to stir within you. It was Midas and the others who attended to the boy who lost his arm. My charge was to hold you throughout. Even as you wept endlessly in fear and panic, the girl who wept because she could not save a boy is now grown up and fighting to save her planet. You will accomplish very little if you tackle every task alone. You, Her Royal Highness Princess Leticia, have developed wonderfully as both a person and as a future ruler. I can attest to that. If the world around you is so full of dread, at least one loyal, unconditional companion is surely not too much to ask. We must push forward. We who hold positions of responsibility will not fall to our knees so easily. Let us show Boldor the steadfast form of a true people's monarch. Why do you ask? Does something ail you? I see. One day, you will need to rule a vast kingdom, after all. If you wish, as your elder, I will provide you with all the answers you desire, in part to put you in my debt. Nilbeth is a melting pot of a wide variety of tribes. The conventional wisdom believed by one person may hold little sway with someone else. Do not allow yourself to be bound by the viewpoint held by you or your family alone. It is essential to consider a wide range of perspectives. There will also be times, however, when you find yourself at a standstill. As a leader of people, you may need to exert your superiority on occasion. That is when you must disregard others' views and push through your own decisions with utmost conviction. It will depend on the situation. So, contemplate such things now, sharpen your judgment, and build experience. I am quite sure it will be of great benefit to you in the future. Devote yourself. I am sure you will do fine. Well, you must have an eye for such things. I suppose I am rather fastidious in my dress. I have my own preferences, and I must not impair the grace and dignity expected of a leader. Ah, that it does. This attire was specially made to meet my specifications. By any chance, Princess Leticia, would you like to try it on? Is that so? Then let us proceed. My clothes are simply the wrong size. I know. We will make a new outfit for you. I, too, would love to see you don the traditional attire of the Trathen people. We will make something fit for a princess. I hope that excites you. Yes, whatever you need. Not a chance. This is how our traditional clothing is customarily worn. Anything too modest will not evoke the Trathen. Besides, surely you've seen worse in Osarius. Indeed. The Crown Emperor and that boy will enjoy your first public unveiling. A shame. It would look divine on you. Confidence is something you find as you go. You will never get anywhere if you lose your nerve before you start. Come now, don it once and gain a dash of confidence. Just for you, Princess Leticia, I will gather the clan's finest weavers. What was that? Finished already, are you? We've only just begun. I'm not drunk. I'm completely fine. You really don't know? That's your problem, isn't it? So, Princess Leticia, what do you think? Why am I drinking here like this? Precisely! And the reason I can get so drunk is that I know Midas here will take good care of me. Yes, you should feel honored that I trust you enough to impose on you. Yes, that's right. Drinking is all about the mood and the energy. You should shut up. Come on, Princess Leticia. Need a drink? My treat. Is that so? I'll be looking forward to it. What does that mean? What fun. And what prompted such a remark? No, flattery will not move me. Stuff together. Whatever do you mean? I am not wholly certain what qualities you speak of. You too, Princess Leticia. You would not happen to be mocking me, I trust. Yes, well, thank you, but I fear you overestimate me. I am hardly so worthy to receive such praise from the both of you. Enough, the both of you. Truly, I can take no more of these compliments. Oh, she is right. For learning so much about iatromancy at a young age, you are worthy of respect. What unimaginable energy flows from your little frame. What power. Much can be learned from you. People are impressed by different things. Pay no mind to a vaguely defined word such as adult, and work to maximize your own strengths. Could it be? Midas, is that truly you? You jumped in so quickly. I assumed you were another imperial lackey. No need. Do not fret, Midas. Full glad am I to see you. Age has certainly not been kind to you. You flatter me, but I have changed in my own way over these years. By the way, your companions are peering in this direction with some confusion. It would seem they have the wrong idea. That will not do, Midas. I am certain your friends would like to hear the whole story. I see some familiar faces. Human children really do grow up in the blink of an eye. It has been some time, Princess Leticia. You have grown into a beautiful woman, and the boy has grown into a fine young man. Welcome to Nilbeth. That is all well and good, but you do not appear to be in the best of health. I could sense the osseous core I separated with 14 years ago, but I never imagined Midas would be with it. Welcome, Midas, Princess Leticia, and your brave young companions. I am Malkya Trathen. I am the leader of the Trathen tribe, the native peoples of Nilbeth. Follow me. I will lead you back to our village. We can discuss more there. Neither Midas nor Princess Leticia informed you of the events from 14 years ago? I myself am still attempting to calmly discern who is at fault. We have arrived. Welcome. This is our village, and our bastion against the Imperial forces. We can discuss such matters in my home. Visit at your leisure. I'll inform the villagers of your presence. Make yourselves at home. Now then, let us start with what brings you to Nilbeth. Catalyst, you say? I see. Oh, so you intend to use the Folga? Of course I do. Midas promised we would... The Folga, you see, was an idea Midas thought up while with Marcus, Filberto, and I 14 years ago. In a manner of speaking, I was. Am I wrong to say so, Midas? Mayhap. The ancient coil is Nilbeth's most sacred ground. If we would allow outsiders to dig within, I would impose one condition. I would ask for your assistance in routing the Imperial threat that encroaches on the ancient coil and our home. Excavation may prove difficult with the Empire so close at hand, besides. The royal city of Nilbeth has not sent aid due to the small number of Imperial soldiers. The villagers tell me the enemy has but a single warship. I am counting on you all. Let us make our move when ready. I will be joining you, so do call on me once you have made the necessary preparations. Have you made ready? I see. Ensure you are well prepared. Then let us be off. The enemy may be few in number, but take caution. I do. We shall patrol their invasion route and destroy them one by one. A simple strategy. We have also received reports that the enemy commander is present during their invasion effort. Just so. Boy, I will not overstep my bounds. But take care. Let us be off, then. We shall show these foolish Imperials what we are capable of. A most useful orb, if not somewhat annoying. Our aim is not to take life, but do not hesitate. Forward! Now, on to the next! Let us keep moving! You are all far more skilled than I imagined. Such prowess is a rarity, even among the warriors of Trathen. We might consider a surprise attack on the Imperial warship. That should drive them back from whence they came. What? No, this can't be. You wretch. Nor will we waste any more words on a general of the Vale Empire. You will not lay another finger on the Trathen people. Your rapacious invasion will cost you dearly, General. Do not taunt my companions. Still your tongue, lest you desire another trouncing. In any case, we have repelled their offensive. I doubt they will return anytime soon. Raymond, Princess Leticia, you have my gratitude. You've become strong in your own right, boy. Let us get you some well-deserved rest. I would welcome you all back into my home. Now, before we begin mining for Levitas ore, there is one thing I would ask. This is serious. It takes significant strength to excavate the ore, but many of the villagers are wounded. We are not in the best shape ourselves, especially you, boy. These 14 long years must have been difficult. The creaking of my old osseous core due to our close proximity must not be helping matters. Do not hold in the pain any longer. There is no need. Midas and I have discussed it. I will bestow upon you a new osseous core, A renewed arm should allow you to resume your duties. Consider it a fitting reward for a hero who saved my people. Midas also keeps bringing up that if we do not repair your arm, he would be at the whim of the royal family forevermore. The implantation procedure should only take one night. Let us all rest in anticipation of our journey for the Levitas ore come the morrow. Years ago, we had to transplant his entire arm. We need only implant an osseous core this time. Do not look so worried. Trust in Midas. Shall we begin the procedure? Shall we begin the procedure? Better, after hearing the Imperial troops have left our shore. Now is the time to descend into the coil. The ancient coil is sacred ground for semiomancers. It is suitably deep. Losing one's way would prove fatal. Then, there is no reason to worry. Shall we depart? As leader of the Trathen, it would be unspeakable to not join you on our sacred grounds. There is an entrance into the coil within the village. I will meet you there, after informing my people. The 3 wise men have all visited this place. So, Nina, you are Filberto's daughter. Is he in good health? I see. Once the realm is at peace, there is something of your father's I would return to you. You are always welcome amongst the Trathen, Nina de Forge. Here we are. This is Levitas ore. I did not. Mayhap there is aught on his mind. It is the demon lord who dwells in the depths. Midas said it was much simpler this time, compared to 14 years ago. The boy's efforts and discipline made it so. He deserves your gratitude more than anyone. Do not be absurd, boy. Your honor as a knight has been pristine since the time of your youth. Mine own osseous core could not be implanted in one who is weak of body or spirit. My sincerest apologies. You both left such a strong impression on me when you were young. It truly seems as if no time has passed at all since then, hence this old habit. Forgive me, boy. Even I did not realize such a rich deposit existed. If it is of no great import, let us accomplish what we set out to do. We should return to the surface. Malkya and I must sort out our excavation plan. I shall have some of my own assist. What madness does he speak of? I think it is plain who the barbarians are here. You shall regret those words. Princess Leticia and the boy must be in danger. Stay calm. You have no ship to bear you home. You dare to laugh at dreams. Yet you cannot even perceive reality. Midas, what will become of the Fulga now? That I will not allow. I suppose I have no choice but to use my secret art and send you back to Ascendros. I would prefer not to, as it drains heavily from my vitality, but we have little choice otherwise. Listen well. If I am to do this, you must complete the Fulga. Call on me once you are well prepared. Once you depart, there shall be no return. Be ready for anything. I shall open the way. You may appear anywhere in Ascendros, and there is no telling what may occur ere you arrive. Be on guard. It will not hold for long! Quickly, jump through! Boy, you will never let that come to pass. This old misfortune now serves as savior, both to you and your kingdom. Come, rise from your despair. You were born for knighthood, boy. It might behoove us to fathom some and discover his reasoning, which would make it a dangerous place for children to play. They would burn them at the stake. I see many knights of Vale have come to marvel at the cruel spectacle as well. There is no time to mull this over. She has resolved to die. Though the odds be against us, we must act. He is outnumbered. He will soon be overwhelmed. Not if we use this. In the hands of a skilled semiomancer, this ore is a catalyst for levitation. Are you up to the task? What more motivation can one need than to fight against evil itself? That is true. However, I doubt these two will simply let us pass. He was in league with the enemy and harmed the royal family. I doubt many men should like to serve under his ilk. My people in Nilbath should be ready to transport the Levitas ore by now. The ship from Canis's attack yet remains. If we take one ship from Kato, we can return with 2. Leave that to me. It should prove simple to oversee those efforts upon my return to Nilbath. If I disregard the danger facing Osirius now, The Empire's fangs will sink into Nilbeth ere long. I am not one to slink away in fear, while my allies are in peril. Your Majesty may not be the panacea to soothe this ailing world, but you recognize that a kingdom is its people. Your Majesty, you did all you could at the time. You should suffer no guilt over having not done enough. But know that I will seek recompense for our efforts, starting with the restoration of Midas's good name. How will you inform us of what you find out? These young folk are fighting for their lives. Pull your head out of your posterior and help them! You infuriate me to no end. The Levitas ore was ready to load on our arrival, allowing us to sail back through the night. But the ore yet remains in Kato. I hastened back alone. I heard from the boy upon our return to Kato that Midas has been working non-stop with no rest. Time is of the essence, I am well aware, but his results will be abysmal if he does not sleep. I've just given Midas a stern talking to, and shall be taking over his duties while he gets some shut-eye. This would not be my first time doing so. Besides, I understand Levitas ore better than anyone else. I hear the boy alone has been charged with transporting the ore. Do help him as much as you can. I dare say he could use the assistance. The Fulga must be a secret. When we consider the quandary facing Princess Leticia and Chloe, we have no surplus of time on our hands. With the immense power at the Empire's disposal, our top priority should be getting the results we need. You certainly know how to handle Midas. Dive! Most of their warships off the coast were driven away by our Fulga battalion. Victory is ours. Ready to reconcile, then? No, two Fulga. If we live long enough, there may come a time where we wish to fly our separate ways, don't you think? I agree. Oh, how thoughtful of you. You shall have to excuse him. All of this unfamiliar gratitude today has poor Midas a tad out of sorts. And yet here Her Royal Highness is, thanking you all the same. If you wish to play the part of the prideful elder, perhaps you should stop behaving like a bashful child. We shall take to the skies like a falcon, or perhaps a fulgon. How long will it take you to learn to accept a compliment? I noticed that you did not seem perturbed by my appearance, Marielle. The people of Osirius and Vale are not familiar with the sight of we Trathen. Most, well, look quite shocked upon encountering me for the first time. Interesting. I begin to see now why Midas and Nina show such interest in the worlds among the stars. That does not sound like the last deluded words of a man backed into a corner. His heart is consumed with hatred and malice. It has been some time since I encountered a being who serves no benefit to the world alive. Despite appearances, I am one to hold a grudge. I will return the pain you inflicted in Nilbeth 100-fold. A man who brings a woman to tears is a vile man indeed. The weapons you devised brought great pain to Nilbeth. No, though you possess a rather complex disposition, I believe that at heart you are essentially an affable sort. Persuading someone to accept a new power requires considerable negotiating ability. Without you being as you are, the Empire would never have developed so much in such a short time. Well, by mishap, I have spent more than a decade in the presence of a man who grumbles about every little misfortune. I merely thought it wise to learn from even my enemies, if I am able. So, what exactly is your connection to Valange? I sensed there was something more to it from you. Advice from one who has seen more days than you. Do not let your next opportunity slip away. Do so, and you may never know when one will next present itself. Pay us no heed. How unfortunate it would be to glean no new information simply because I was too brusque with her. Do you not see? You are not required to forgive the terrors she brought to pass in your homeland, Nina. However, though you may not forgive them, I ask that you accept what she has done as an individual. Is it not true that you chose to put your research into a treatment and cure for Helgar's disease on hold, in order to rail against your enemies? Her plight is no different. Neither you nor I nor Lola are deities capable of absolute benevolence. All on this mortal plane find themselves at times not doing what they must, or doing what they must not. What matters is that neither you nor Lola avert your gaze from the results of your decisions. Do they not fear Imperial citizens drawing near? Midas, stop being a child. And what is Buldur hoping to accomplish aboard this strange ship? That is not possible. Not a single soul in Nilbeth would wish for such a thing. This is too much for one man to wield, Buldur. Why do you seek such power? It is not like you to fret over such things. I would have been more concerned if you had said you weren't interested in going along on this journey. I, too, was once a member of the Semiomancy Consortium. I am also fascinated by other worlds. Besides, I cannot let you venture out into the stars without a proper escort to keep you from getting into mischief. Ah, yes. From the air, we can reach even Nilbeth in the blink of an eye. We shall see you tomorrow. Let me say this. Preventing him from wandering off whenever I look elsewhere is proving quite a difficult task. What will you do if Buldur is aboard that ship, and we find ourselves forced into combat with it? The rumbling is like an earthquake. Do not even think of wandering off. Oh, is this intriguing? So this is another world. No, another planet. Most likely the rotation produces artificial gravity. The fact that we do not seem to need these devices attached to our feet proves this. You are unharmed. Perhaps it is best we play along for now. I suspect that by now, they will have shared that we are intruders. Indeed. Any battle of yours is a battle of ours. Midas, was that not a tad indiscreet? For a being so advanced, you certainly lack tact. Why, this is... How could this be? Why is this here? You are a most contemptible wretch indeed. I have something to ask you. Could the Fulga be made to sail the starry ocean above? Why not? And a crew manning an open deck is unwise? You mean the air we breathe? Say no more. Your point is made. We lack the understanding to match what is common sense to you. An awareness of that fact alone will suffice. I thought myself accomplished in my research. Alas, even I am bested. It shall be much time yet until we may hail our companions across the stars. I inquired of Raymond to determine if we might sail the Fulga through the ocean of stars. Without a moment of contemplation, he told me space held no air, as though it were as obvious as the color of the sky itself. For many years I have studied semiomancy alongside Midas and the other maesters, sharing in all the knowledge of our world. Yet, I now realize we know absolutely nothing of space. I find no consolation in self-deceit. We must acknowledge that it shall be no simple feat to ever set course for their worlds ourselves. That cannot be! What of the Trathen settlement there? Can we not see what is underway within? And what of the Trathen? Have you heard nothing? Indeed. Then I am relieved. None are yours to take! Remain ever aware. The Nilbeth we once knew is no more. Their wrongs are not yours. Allow yourself to find absolution in the aid you provide us now. Would not any of us feel the same? I myself spent many a year away from the Trathen, working in service to Osirius. Oft-times I found myself conflicted, unsure if my priorities lay with my people or with the Osirians. Indeed, I am beginning to find reason in Midas's claims that Scorpium may not differ from the rest of us. Gaston, you imagine we might, after you have wrought desecration on holy Trathen grounds not once but twice now? You believe revealing yourself to us this way might convince us of anything? What is happening? You would leave him here. You may be right. This is for all of my people lost by your hand! Did Gaston not fail to accomplish just that? What you ask is beyond most all of us. The universe needs not such a deity. If there is anything divine in this world, it is but the flame of life inside of all of us. Never have I relied on the power of the divine. My well-being will forever be delivered by mine own hands. Our journey into the stars must be one born of our own volition. Only then will we find ourselves on equal ground with you and yours. I imagine not. But this is all part of your training. Sit still, at ease. You do far too much. Nilbeth needs all the help it can get to recover from this Scorpium tragedy, certainly. But if you do all the work, it weakens my position. You could stand to relax from time to time. This I do only out of concern for you, you see. I seek to train your work ethic out of you. You are a hero of our world, and a man one day meant to be partner to the leader of all Trathen. Why then should you not be lavished as such? This is but the service you deserve. Would you now? Perhaps that is for the best. I am inclined to wonder what you might be like at your worst. Show me, what might I expect? No matter what becomes of you, I shall never turn away. Oh, silly boy. Here we are, we made it. Lost your land legs, have you? I may have made certain modifications to suit my needs. Invigorating, no? I told you before we boarded. My most prized hideaway. Hush now. Occupy yourself with naught but the warmth of the sun's rays, the sounds of the waves, and the blue expanse before your eyes. Nothing else. All leaders need moments such as these. You look worse yet now than when I saw you not long ago. I assume you find little sleep. Few fathom both the scale and importance of what we do, which again is why we must find time to rest. Perhaps it is unbecoming of a mere tribal leader to offer advice to a princess, but know that the stress we carry goes on to affect those we lead. Do we not want to look back upon it all with pride? Good. Not once have I heard mention of a pathway such as this among the Trathen. Yet another creature with an understanding of our words, and one that appears to be in no small amount of pain. You appear distressed. Are you all right? There is always trial and error. Ha! This will certainly be easier than last time. Right around here, is it?
I was just trying to work out how I might fly. I thought maybe if I leapt from the top of the tower, these wings might finally be of some use. Oh, don't worry. You see this sort of thing all the time back where I'm from. Everybody flies everywhere. I'll be fine.
Is that you, Raymond? Is that you, Princess? I dreamt I was some winged maiden. Imagine the thrill of riding the winds without need of even a fulga. Perhaps if I used Levitas ore and modified my physique with wings. I am keen to discover what awaits atop this tower. Might I join you? Do not think me unable to handle such trifling, regrettable as it may be. I'm afraid I must leave you on your own. We have things handled here. Go to your father. Do what you must for the sake of your kingdom. Ready to depart? Right then. Let us gather the others. The path ahead is ever uncertain. One must prepare for any possible outcome. My people gladly bid me farewell. They know I venture forth for the future of the Trathen and the wider world. 14 years have passed since last I stepped foot upon these shores. Once you are finished, we had best make our return to the royal capital. We must stand strong as we see the princess off. It is best you rest. A face writ with exhaustion would only give away your intentions. Built different though she may be, Elena is both a living being and a friend. A strong and noble one at that. We are fortunate to have her. Crown Prince Gerard seems to have personally made his way to Baldar. We would do well to meet him there, if only we had the time to mourn. Alas, there is much yet afoot. Through Baldor, Lola's homeworld was to be saved? By what means could he have done so? Witnessing the technical masterpieces of the Tyrannus and Mariel's craft has suddenly left me quite drawn to the wider universe you call home. We may not have been separated long, but surely there is much to discuss now that you have returned, yes? The situation as it may be, I find myself struggling to contain my excitement over embarking on a celestial ship. Perhaps not so much as Midas, however. What might it be which so draws Baldor to the Scorpium? To me, he appears driven by his own delusions. Baldor makes his way among the stars, yet still calls himself emperor. With all his people left behind, I ask, of what? If we had lost our battle against the Empire, we ourselves might now be swept up into the very Centralists we fight. The Centralists and Buldur himself serve well enough as proof that peace is not guaranteed by becoming one with the Scorpium. How did it come to be that a location so similar to the ancient coil might be found on a world as far away as the one Raymond calls home? We must answer their bravery with our own. It is time we enter the fray. The Vale Empire has an opulent history. I cannot imagine the nation would do you harm, but one can never be too wary. I have had a hand in the research and development of the Fulga, and stand ready to aid Midas and Elena in their work. If Midas still chooses to press on, then so too must I. I cannot imagine things will turn violent. However, I would still feel best if I stood watch, just to be certain. One day I will sail not only these skies, but the vastness beyond them, traveling as far as you have yourselves. Tomorrow we make right all the many wrongs which have led us to this day. Only once all is done will I truly find joy in seeing Midas and yourself once more. Have your nerves gotten to you? How unexpected. Remember, we have the Fulga to aid us now. Stand strong. The look on your face tells me you are ready for battle. Let us march onward and settle things with the Empire. Both Osirius and Vale work tirelessly to take in Trathen evacuees. Words cannot express my gratitude. This is no time to stand idle. Our goal lies just ahead. You will find no words more sincere than those of someone so conscious of what they have done. I am inclined to believe she deserves your trust. Midas was poking around a moment ago. He didn't break anything, did he? Simply say the word and I shall clap some restraints on him. Midas was poking and pulling at things over there a moment ago. He didn't break anything, did he? So into battle amidst the ocean of stars, yes? Will the magnitude of it all shatter my fragile mortal psyche? I cannot wait. With shops and dining aboard this ship, one could practically spend their lifetime here. Though doing so would be slightly irksome. We cannot escape war, even here amidst the stars. Perhaps it is in our very nature as mortals. It is painful to raise arms against former comrades, though they so obviously stand with the enemy now. This so-called wormhole allowed us to travel an incredible distance in an instant, yes? Disturbingly unreal. Despoiling a land of this beauty is a crime for which the centralist Scorpium must answer. Technology that increases the speed of a ship on a whim, with no regard for wind or waves, is quite awe-inspiring. I must admit, your father seems to be a very interesting fellow. Let us dispose of these centralists quickly, so we can share a few drinks with him. I must admit, Raymond's father seems to be a very interesting fellow. How about we make quick work of these bothersome centralists and invite him for a few drinks? The gulf between your knowledge and mine yawns as wide as that separating the heavens and earth. But I can only try and bridge this distance one step at a time. The gulf between worlds is wide. We can only try and bridge this distance one step at a time. The ancient coil is a sacred site for my people. I will not let those with evil in their hearts lay claim to it. So Buldur fled into the Scorpium network. Does this mean we have finally brought him to bay? Sadly, deciphering the coils with Provenience Cavern is beyond my meager knowledge. I never imagined a more diverse assembly of tribes than Nilbeth could exist. Magnificent. I know the ire of having one's home violated very well. Let us hurry to this integration plant. Word of our actions here has surely spread throughout this network. We must not delay. Away! It is over! Keep up! This way! Prepare for a beating! Crumble!